Hi friends, and welcome back again to the channel. In today's video, we'll be going through the basics and color schemes I'll be using for my Ork army project, and I'll be doing so on my custom knobs. Although these are not actually knobs, but instead converted Ork Boyz. I've been waiting for the knobs set to be back in stock in my local shop, but they never did. So I thought, why wait? Let's make my own. I've used some boys and kitbashed here and there, some wag banners, choppers and claws. I tried to make the most of the shoulder pads to give them a more bulkier look. And I'm pretty happy with how they came out. Some had some flaws even during the making of the video. I managed to fix everything and still have them ready. Although I've made them as knobs, this video is still perfect for painting Ork Boyz or any other kind of unit actually, so hope it's useful. And I started by doing a layer of black primer followed by a highlight zenithal effect from above with some grace here. You can really cover it with any color you want in your orks, but I like to do this so if I ever miss a spot, it'll be covered in black and just seem like a shadow instead of a big uncolored spot. The first thing I always do is start from the skin of the model. I cover all the exposed bits with a layer of Zundry dust. Once dried, using some air shade, we can work on shading. This will create a base of light and shadows that will help in the next step, which is putting some color onto the orc skin. I like to use Plaguebearer's flesh, because it's not too bright, but this technique should work with any green contrast if you're making a different scheme for your units. To give this orc some life, instead of leaving everything green, I like to add a bit of pink here and there, usually on the lips, elbows and ears. Then we can simply move on to finish off those few other details like the eyes and the teeth. And just like that, we are done working on all the organic parts of the model. I also find this method pretty quick and easy to replicate, especially if you have a lot of minis to work on and want to get the job done. The next phase will be to do all the inner layers of clothing and armor. I prefer to work this way using darker colors, so it's easier to clean them up if I mess up the outer layers. I've already gone over the trousers with a Zundry dust base to simply shade them with some skeleton horde contrast. You can also add some highlighting on the folds if you want, but I won't do it this time. I then proceed to finish off the boots. Using contrast in this phase helps to create some soft highlights here and there that can be fixed with some layer colors later on. With more Zundry dust, I clean and base all the leather parts like belts and bracers. I then go over them with Gargut sewers, which I really like to create dark leather effects. I won't be working on making it worn on this model, cause for this unit I need a quick way to have it all battle ready. But do not worry, I will go more into detail with characters and hero models. If you want, and this is quite optional, you can add a really quick highlight of all black parts to make them stand out a little. we can start to move on to the outer layers, starting from all the metal parts and bits. Finally, we can then work on the armor, which, if you've seen my other video, will be a sort of ivory white color. I've been doing the most of my Znagas like this, and I really like the bone-like look of it. Once the base is done, to get the ivory effect, I basically stain the white parts with Seraphim Sepia. The shades of this particular color will then resemble the one of ivory. Now we can finally work on all the other details. We still need to finish off the banner on this back. At first I wanted to just make it all yellow, but thought it would lose all its importance, so I added a bit of red to make it stand out better. Oh, I also wasn't sure if I wanted to make the helmet white or brown like leather, but noticed that I would have had to make the fur of yet another color. I feared there would be too many, so I decided to settle the helmet like the rest of the armor, and it turned out pretty well. I then finished off all the other metallic parts, especially the smaller ones that were easier to repaint over the white base instead of trying to go around them. To add some variation, I then decided to add some Balthasar gold here and there on the armor and weapons. I then took my time to work on all the details I left out. Did a quick effect on the fur with snakebite leather, then went back to adding some more red parts to the claw, trying to make it stand out a bit more. I noticed then that the skull needed to be colored too, so I quickly gave it a base of Zandri dust and then moved to highlighting with a quick dry brush. Quick and easy way to make some really nice bone effects. Once everything was done, I just needed to add some more shading to the metal parts. I thought of using Nuln Oil at first, but it wouldn't give the dirty and rusty metal look straight away, so Agrax seemed the only good option. The model seems pretty much finished at this point, but I still wanted to add some more shading, especially to the yellow and red parts that seemed kind of flat. So after some shading here and some highlighting there, the job was done pretty easily. And now we can finally get to one of my favorite parts, chipping and scratching. Using rhinox hide and a very small brush, we can start creating scratches along the borders of all the armor parts. Make sure to do quick and light movements, trying to use the side of your brush instead of the tip. Once everything is done, if you feel brave enough, you can work on your way on decorating the armor. The good thing about orks is that if you want to add decorations such as the one I'm making, they don't have to be perfect. I then finish everything off by adding some metal chipping here and there and a final touch of highlight using lighter tones of yellow and red. And so we have it, an Ork Nobz or boy in white armor. But what is a Warhammer model without its base? As you can see, I've already made mine. To create a concrete effect, I glued a piece of hard foam to the base, then scratched it using a hobby knife and cutters. To add some more texture to it, I simply applied some patches of Sterling mud, then primed everything black. For the first layer of concrete, I dry brushed the base with Dark Reaper, then highlighted it with Administratum Grey. You could also just leave it black, but I think the bluish undercoat gives it a more realistic tone. I don't want it to be just a simple road in ruins though. I wanted it to be lost in a desert, so I started adding some brownish patches to see where I wanted the sand to be. Also, this was not an easy passage, and as you can see, I was working really quickly until my son came to me in need of cuddles. I wanted to finish the video, but come on, I couldn't have said no to the kiddo. So before finishing, we just needed to look more like a road. So what better than some yellow markings? Before adding the sand, I decided to glue the ork in place. This is just to make sure that while I use this dry soils sand pigment, some effect would also get onto the model's legs, making it blend better with the environment I was building around it. So here it is, a tabletop ready looking ork boy or knob, ready to be revealed soon. Thanks a lot for staying till the end. Remember to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. So friends, stay painting, enjoy the miniatures preview, and see you on the next one.